Hi Bobcats, it's Miss Lee, and in this lesson we're going to talk about the area of trapezoids. Let's talk about what a trapezoid is. Let me erase this really fast. Okay, a trapezoid is a four-sided figure. It's a four-sided figure, just like a rectangle, so it's part of the quadrilateral family. It has two parallel bases, the bottom base, the top base. We actually call these B1 and B2. It doesn't matter which one is the 1, which one is the 2. You could reverse them. And the same with a parallelogram and with a triangle. The height, you have to be standing straight and tall like you're at the doctor's office. So the height has to be perpendicular to the base. So how can we come up with the formula? You can think of a trapezoid as half of a parallelogram. So here we have half of a parallelogram, and we cut it kind of diagonally in the center, and it gives us two trapezoids. If you put them together, you have the full parallelogram. And we know that the formula for the parallelogram to find the area is area equals 1/2 base times height. I'm sorry. 1/2 base times height. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Area equals 1/2 base times the height. But we've cut our parallelogram in half, so we're not going to have the full area, are we? We're going to have only half of the base times the height. But look at the base. See how long the base is in our parallelogram? Our base in our trapezoid is not that length. But look here at the top. This top base is the same length as the missing base. Okay, we're missing this base length from our parallelogram, and this top base of our trapezoid is the same length that we're missing from our base in the parallelogram. So that's where we get the base 1 and the base 2. To have our base, we have to add the base 1 of our trapezoid plus the base 2 of our trapezoid. So the formula for the area of a trapezoid is 1/2, and we have to add together the base 1 plus the base 2 so that it's the same length as the base of our parallelogram. And then we multiply it by the height. So this is the formula. This is how we get the formula for the area of a trapezoid. So let's do some practice. Okay, this is a trapezoid. Write your formula. As always, we're requiring that you write the formula and an equation. So area equals 1/2, and you're going to put the bases, base 1 plus base 2 in parentheses, because it's like order of operations. Before you can multiply it by half or by the height, you have to add your bases together first. Remember PEMDAS, parentheses comes first? Okay. Now we need to identify our bases and our height. So here's the bottom base. These are units, so we need to count. So we're going to start right here. We move over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the base 1, or you could call it base 2, is equal to 10. Now our other base, which I'm going to call base 2 since I already have base 1, we need to see how long that is. I'm going to start right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It measures 8 units. Now our height has to be perpendicular to the base. It's not going to be the sides because the sides aren't straight. They're not perpendicular to the base. So we're going to start with the highest point. I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to go straight down to the base. It's perpendicular. It makes that right angle. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the height is equal to 5. Okay, now that you don't know your dimensions, you're ready to write your equation. We're looking for the area. It's going to stay the A, equals 1/2. In parentheses, we're going to add your bases together. Now, I don't want you to do it mentally yet. I want you to replace the variables with all of the numbers that you know. So we know base 1 is 10, plus our base 2 is 8. Keep it inside the parentheses, multiplying it by the height, which is 5. And I'm going to put that in parentheses as well. Now you're ready to do the math. Take it one step at a time. 1/2. We have to do parentheses first. 10 plus 8 is 18 times 5. Okay, you should know by now that when you multiply something by 1/2, it's the same as dividing by 2. So I always look to see if I have an even factor here, because that's really easy to divide by 2. And I do, I have 18. So I'm going to go ahead, take half of 18, which is the same as dividing by 2, and I get 9. And I haven't done anything with this times 5 yet. This is my last step. 9 times 5 is 45. And it's going to be units squared. So there's a couple more steps here. Still easy, but a couple more steps. Okay, let's do our next one. Next trapezoid. You know it's a trapezoid because it only has one set of parallel bases. Formula, area equals 1/2, parentheses, base 1 plus base 2 times your height. All right, here's my base 1. The 5 is my base 2. This is my height. And we have a fraction. I know how you guys do not like fractions. 7.5, you can easily convert that to a decimal, 7.5. Let's plug in our values. Area equals 1/2. My bases are going to be 12 plus 5 times the height, which is 7.5. Okay, order of operations, do your parentheses first. Leave everything else the same. 1/2 times 17 times 7.5. Okay, now neither of my factors are even. So I could take half of 17 and get 8.5. Or I could multiply 17 times 7.5 first and then take half of that. I'm going to go ahead and take half of 17. I like multiplying smaller numbers. Half of 17 is 8.5. And then we need to multiply that by 7.5. And our area is going to be 63 and 75 hundredths. Don't forget your units, inches squared. And our last example, another trapezoid. Area equals 1/2. Got to add the bases, base 1 plus base 2 in parentheses, times your height. Okay, let's identify everything. Here's my base 1, the 14. Here's my base 2, the 11. And it actually shows us the height. It's perpendicular to the base. 8 is your height. And now you plug it into your formula. Write your equation. Area equals 1/2. Inside the parentheses, we're going to have 14 plus 11 times the height of 8. Order of operations, add inside your parentheses first. So you have 1/2 times 25 times 8. Okay, do I have an even factor here? 8. So I'm going to go ahead. Remember, multiplication is commutative, so you could switch these around. And you could say this is the same thing as saying 1/2 times 8 times 25. It's the same thing, commutative property. So half of 8 is 4, and then I just multiply 4 times 25, which is 100. Don't forget your units, centimeters squared. Not too hard, huh? Mainly you need to remember to add your bases together. A lot of students make the mistake and they multiply it instead of adding it together, so you have to be really careful there. And I have one more example to do with you. The area of a trapezoid shown is 120 centimeters squared. All right, so this time we know the area. It's 120 centimeters squared. Which equation could be used to find the height of the trapezoid? So we're looking for the height. Okay, sorry about that. I had to pause because we were missing a dimension here, and I wanted to make sure that we knew what it was. Okay, so one of the bases is 10, and we're missing the bottom base. This bottom base should be 14. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let that be base 1. This will be base 2. We're looking for the height, and we know the area. Okay, knowing this information and knowing that our formula for area of a trapezoid is area equals 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times your height. Let's go ahead and plug it in and see which equation matches it. Area equals 1/2. Don't know what happened there. Add your bases. 14 plus 10 times your height. So 1/2, 14 plus 10 is 24 times your height. We can easily, oops, I'm sorry, I forgot to plug in A, didn't I? A area is 120. Okay, so we can easily take half of 24, that's 12, times your height. Okay, let's go through our equations. Our answer choices. A is 24x equals 120. So what did they forget to do here? And this x should be an h. Sorry about that. They forgot to multiply half. Here's the 24h, 24 times h, which is what they have here. So they forgot to take half of the 24. So A is not our answer choice. B is the answer choice because they did take half of 24 and they got 12. 12 times h. So B is the correct answer. Okay, now you're ready for your practice problems.